Hey YouTube, this is Nathendo145. This is going to be the next video for today, and you will be seeing my face for it, because I wanted to give you a review on the Nintendo DSi, even though it's been a few minutes since I've gotten it in the mail. So this is basically an improvement, or an upgrade really, not necessarily an improvement, because it removed something that I'll talk about later, but it's an upgrade. It's the third iteration of the DS and the DS Lite. And it adds a ton of new features that even got implemented to the next-gen Nintendo handheld, which was the 3DS. The DSi got some features born with it that were implemented into the 3DS, mainly the camera and the sound apps, which are actually pretty cool. You could take photos with it, and there was an editor. I remember editing photos with the 3DS one, so that's how I can tell that there was one for the DSi, because the 3DS has a lot of those features, obviously. And the DSi sound app is actually pretty cool too. The fact you can you can put MP3s on your SD card. Unfortunately, the DSi does not come with an SD card, but I do have one in here. I have a 2 GB Toshiba SD card here. That's flipped upside down. All right. I can't tell if this is blurred or not, but I'm sure you can tell it's an SD card. That's one of the cool things about this console is they add the SD card ability, and you can put music and photos on your SD card, and maybe you can add videos too, I think, but primarily photos. But I'm actually excited because to load MP3s onto this. But, I mean, I've pretty much played my DS games, so there's not going to be a difference, really, in gameplay mechanics, really. But there are some games that you cannot play, that on the DSi, but I don't really have the ones you can't play. But the ones I'm referring to are the ones that require slot 2, the GBA slot, and they have a DS option pack, so they can only be played on your original DS or your DS Lite. And what I mainly refer to in that sense is Guitar Hero, because that's the most popular one where it requires slot 2. But on whatever version of the DS console you own, Mario Kart DS actually will play a different sound when you start the game. I don't know what it's going to be for the DSi because I've not tried it yet, but that's one of the major game changers. One of the main game changes, depending on which DS console you have, with Mario Kart DS here. And then back to what I was saying about the photo app. It had an editor. You can draw things on the photos. And keep in mind, this console still will implement download, play, and PictoChat. From the original DS and DS Lite, except it will be using it in the BIOS from the original DS and DS Lite, as you would expect. And the download play thing still uses the DS BIOS on the 3DS. I don't know why, but that's probably just how Nintendo was used to doing it. If you're doing DS games on the 3DS anyways. Because if you do it with 3DS games, it's a completely different story on the 3DS download play, but that's the way you do multiplayer. And unfortunately, it's a shame that PictoChat was gotten rid of on the 3DS. If you guys know why, you can let me know. But there was Miiverse, which eventually would replace PictoChat, but was also available on the Wii U. And you could, it's basically similar to, it's a twist on social media, basically, like with PictoChat being a messaging app. When social media wasn't really a thing, though. Became a thing later on in the DS's lifespan when the DSi was around and hit the market. But the DSi is very interesting piece of Nintendo history, in my opinion. Definitely an interesting upgrade, just the only disadvantage being GBA removed and not being able to play certain games on this, which is strange to hear for the console. But hey, you can't have it all, so if you want to play Guitar Hero, you can just get a DS Lite, which I have a DS and an original a DS Lite and an original DS already before I even bought this. But I already had a DSi XL, but now I have all 4 models of the DS. The Nintendo DS Original, the Nintendo DS Lite, the Nintendo DSi, and the Nintendo DSi XL. So, once I get the rest of the models for the other consoles, such as the PS3, 360, Wii, and 3DS, except for the 3DS, I'll only involving certain models, for a few other reasons, which I'll talk about another time in the future. But once I get the models for those consoles, I will be doing, what do you call it? What do you call those? I forget. I'll be doing I'll call it a description video for right now, but it basically will just go through the hardware specs, some of the games, and the different models, basically. That's what it will go through. I don't know when I will be starting it with the DS, because I want to get more games for when I start the DS video and that. But I will be telling you there will be a ton of new things coming up with this channel later on in the year, such as my collecting tips series, which will start in September. I'm definitely going to be getting a lot more games, maybe getting a new change to this room. I want to get it painted. I would like to get a new paint job in here, so if it does, I hope to paint it red, just like my cap here. It's a Mario cap. But yeah, so I will do a setup video for this console later today, so I'll see you guys later. I'll see you guys in a little bit.